Hello, everybody. Happy freaking Friday. Welcome to the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live
We're
with your
back.
amazing hosts. Well, and one is the indisputable Greg Gifford from Search Lab Digital. You can find him on Twitter, never X, at Greg Gifford. And myself, Ben Fisher, with Steady Demand. You can find me on Twitter, not X, at The Social Dude. You can find us on Facebook at the Local Marketing Institute Connect, where we have actually 2,506. Actually, it's not 2,600. I checked actually earlier, Greg.
I know, and
So
it's just hard to update every time.
I know, but it says 26K now. So, which means you won't actually have to update the darn thing for at least, I don't know, 6 months to a year or something
Yeah,
like
we'll see.
that. Just saying. It's the end of the year. We got to spruce this stuff up.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, you can find us on Facebook where a bunch of us actually do answer questions and also are just there to learn and help. And lastly, if you would like Greg and I in your ear on the go while you're working out, it doesn't really matter. Whenever you'd like to enjoy your podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, we are there. Did you know that you can hook up your Spotify account for free to your Tesla now?
Can you really?
It's fucking cool. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
And they added YouTube as well. It's pretty neat. All
Nice.
right. So apologies, everybody. Yes, it has been at least 4 weeks since we have been here, but let's not dwell on the past. Let's get involved in the future. So, everyone, what we want to say is we have a couple news items. We have a couple questions that have been submitted beforehand. We got actually all of our questions last time. So, yay, go team. So basically, that means that if you have any questions, if you would like a GBP to be roasted, it can be yours or it can be your competitors, whichever way you go. Competitors probably be more fun. Then go ahead and put it into the questions area and put in hashtag roast GBP. If you want us to audit your website, we can do that. That's not a problem. Do you have a suspension issue, a verification issue? Do you just want to cry and, well, kill people at Google? All right, not kill people, but you know what I mean. You want to yell at them a lot. Then you can do that as well. Sure. Well, let's do that too. Anyway, hi, everybody. Happy freaking Friday. How are you doing, my friend?
I am excellent. It is nice to be back. I actually missed doing this for the last month or so when we were missing because of my travels.
I know, man. I freaking miss doing this too. It's fun. It's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. It's nice to be back.
It is definitely, definitely. And so, as with that, by the way, both Greg and I had a travel schedule this month, I guess you could say. So, yeah, but at least for me, that's actually all done as of next week. So, I don't know. Now, what about you, man? You got anything left for the rest of this
Hold
year?
on. Everybody's saying they're having trouble hearing me. Let me make sure.
Oh, are you down again?
How's that? Is that better, everybody?
No, it's not. It's pretty far away.
I don't understand why the stupid microphone right in my
I don't
face.
know.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better.
Like my input volume is all the way up. I don't understand why it
I
would
don't know.
not.
You did this last time, and like you were able to find it pretty easily last time. Does anybody remember what Greg had to do to fix it?
How about that? Is that better?
I don't know. What do you say, audience?
I mean, literally, my input volume is all the
Nope.
way up on my computer.
Not happening, buddy. Try yelling directly
That's
into the
fine. I'm
mic.
gonna try different microphones. Let's try a different microphone.
There you go. There you go. Just yes, a different microphone, please.
How about that microphone? No, yes, maybe.
I wish we had
No.
like, what they do
I
when
think
when you
Zoom
go
doesn't
and
like
get
me
your prescriptions made, how about this? One or two?
I think it's Zoom doesn't like me
It's quite possible.
because my audio it works fine on everything other than Zoom. So you
And
guys just have to turn your shit up and listen.
for those of you on the podcast in the future, you're probably sitting here going, "What the hell am I listening to?" Well, Greg's just looking around all over the place. He's looking for where that he can fix this microphone issue. And yeah, okay. All right. So why don't you take the microphone and see if you can yell into it? Can you yell into that microphone? Does that work?
So like when I select the thing, like my audio input volume is all the way up, but I'm getting like there. No, it's plugged in. Like it's on.
Yeah, but
It's
do this. Do this. Put it like up to your face.
How about that?
You see, that's better.
Is that better?
It is.
Okay, well, we'll just have the mic like way up in my face.
I mean, and you can put it to your side of your face if you really want to, because it is kind of obnoxious having it right in front of your face. But, you know, either way, I mean, it's like you can do this and it'll still work.
It's weird because like I do calls all the time and it's never an issue except with Zoom.
I think it's the local marketing institute just has it out for you sometimes. That's all there is to it. Okay.
What if I click automatically adjust microphone volume? Did that change anything? No.
Actually, yes.
Did that make a difference?
Good. It sounds good.
I clicked the Zoom setting for automatically adjust microphone volume, and maybe that
turned it on or off?
I turned it on.
All right. Got it. Zoom auto adjust microphone works for Greg. Understood.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Sorry, everybody.
No, you're kidding. That was 7 minutes of entertainment.
Right.
Like I said, whoever's listening on a podcast, however, they might not be so happy, but who knows? Maybe they'll be entertained too. All right. We had all sorts of killer comments, by the way. Thanks, everybody. So let's do this. Hi. Okay, so let's do this. News stuff.
News stuff. You're going news. I'll share the link. You talk.
All right, fine. That was your cue for a sound, buddy. All right.
Oh, geez, man. I'm out of practice. It's been so long.
I know. Oh my God. And you see, and that sounded great, by the way.
See, that's weird because it's all the same audio input. So like, who knows?
Whatever. Okay. All right. So actually, why don't you go ahead and talk about this one, Greg?
So hopefully everyone has heard about the new updates to FTC law that revolve around fake reviews and paid reviews and reviews from family members and reviews from friends and fake social media signals, which is an interesting thing because how are they going to enforce that? Well, they've updated these laws. And all of the new updates to the laws are in effect as of Monday the 21st. So now every violation can get you in big trouble. So if anybody is doing this, make sure you stop doing it.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting. What I think is going to be extremely interesting is like how the the guys who always abuse the system in the first place, how the locksmiths are going to react to this. Are they going to start reporting each other wholesale?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
And then the other side of it is
it's not retroactive, Max. I don't think so.
The other thing about it is this a new vector for spammers? You know, instead of I'm gonna, I was helping a guy on the forum this week who has the whole pay us $500 or we're going to keep giving you 1-star review extortion thing. Now, do you even do that? Or do you just go send a bunch of fake reviews to a competitor and then try to report them and try to get them in trouble with the FTC because you're the one that sent them bad reviews? How's the FTC going to know it wasn't the business? Like, I think enforcement is going to be difficult on this.
Oh, enforcement's going to be horrible. Are you kidding me? But we all kind of, I think we can figure out what the FTC is going to do with this. They're going to find somebody, right, that gets reported. They're going to be like, oh, that is a poster child right there.
They're going to make an example.
Yeah. And, they're going to go after some big dentist or whatever, who knows, right? And levy some massive fines as a warning, basically. But yes, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if something can be gamed, it's going to be gamed, right? What a better way than to knock out your competition with a freaking huge fine from the FTC.
Yep. I
So
think it's going to be dangerous, but we'll see
it'll
what
be
happens.
it'll be interesting. That is for sure. All right. Second one. Nothing huge to see here, but we all know that in your Google Business Profile, at least I think we all know, in your Google Business Profile, you can generate a description using AI buttons. Yay. And actually, I mean, I don't know. I love it. Actually, it works pretty well. However, we have seen in the wild, I was cruising around and I saw on a customer's profile an AI generated description, which is usually only given as an editorial summary, snippet. Yeah, snippet. Anyway, so it's just kind of interesting because it had nothing to do with the AI description, had nothing to do with their website, but it was a automated generated snippet. I don't think this is going to be cool, by the way.
I don't think it's going to be cool either. I
No,
think. I mean, maybe someday when the AI gets better, but right now we all know it's garbage that it vomits out. So
prediction
yeah,
is that this is going to start showing up on people's profiles. They're going to start saying, but I already wrote a description. Why are you overwriting mine?
yeah,
Right. Okay. Um, I think that's going to happen. I think people are going to be in the forums contacting support saying, get rid of this thing.
yep.
You know what I mean? How do I change it? Support's not going to know what the heck they're doing.
Or even worse, it's going to have incorrect information, and they're going to be contacting support going, "This is wrong. Change it," and support's not going to know what to do.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been beating that AI drum of make sure you control all the information out there about you kind of thing, because that's where it's getting this stuff from, you know? Um, oh God, wouldn't that be a horrible vector of attack?
What's that?
Spread as much misinformation out there about an entity as possible so that way it shows up as a description on your GBP.
Yeah.
Do you
That
remember
seems like
that?
it'd be a whole lot of effort to hopefully maybe get it to stick, though.
No. Do you remember what happened when they launched the generative AI at Google initially? And somebody went into the forum and put up how this specific company at this specific address was basically a faker and a scammer. It was some locksmith attacking another locksmith, right? But then you go ahead and you type in that business name at that address, and the AI overview came up with that copy. So you're looking for the business name, and you get all this stuff about them being a faker, a scammer, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I mean, but that would be a rude version of an attack to get that show up on a GBP.
Yeah, for sure.
Yikes. Ouch. All right.
Not cool.
Yeah, exactly. And as Bill puts it, yikes. All right.
And now this next one needs a drum roll.
Oh yes, sure.
Wait, where's my drum roll? That's not drum roll. That's not drum roll. Where? Man, it's not. That's. Do I not have a drum roll? I thought I had a drum roll sound. Oh, there
I
we
don't
go.
think I don't
I can't find it.
But you know would have been there you go. You know would have been perfect right before that. Do the while you're looking
know,
for
right?
it. All
I
right.
remember where all
Okay.
my sound effects are on the soundboard.
No, I'm just saying, man, you take a month off and look what happens, right?
I know, right?
All righty. So news. This is a big one. So we're going to hang out here probably for at least the next 5 minutes. All right. There are some new, actually, you know what? I'm going to ask a question really quick because let's see how much we do actually need to cover this. How many of you raise of hands or just say yes or say no or say, I'm trying into the chat? Do you manage LSAs either for yourself or others? And yes, pizza is a appropriate answer. That's a pretty even split.
Yeah, it looks about half.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more no's, but still.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it. I'm trying yet. I was really hoping to get at least
We all
one.
should, right, Max?
Right. All right, fine. I'm gonna like do half on this news, then we'll get off of it. All right. There you go. Okay, fine, Mark. Good. So with LSA, this is the next month is an upcoming amazingly huge update month for the local services ads platform, which is sure to ensue in a amazing amount of chaos to ensue afterwards. The high level of the changes, I think it's in relationship to basically into being able to more adequately control spam in the LSA ecosystem. But here it is. So the first one, which everybody's going to screw up, your email address that is on your local service ads account must match your Google business profile. It must be on both, or your local service ads will get paused. The name and the address must match GBP and local services ads exactly, or your LSA will get paused.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask a question, of course.
Because you deal with LSAs at a much larger scale than we do. I've got clients that do them, but
Lots of them.
I don't run into people trying to cheat or trying to do things nefariously. For our clients, it wouldn't be a big deal, but it clearly will be a big deal for a lot of people out there that don't have the stuff matching. Is it that prevalent that the information doesn't match between LSAs?
Your clients are going to be affected by this, period. Okay. Because especially in the automotive industry where name changes happen on a regular basis, right? The address doesn't change, but your name can change. And
Right.
and also because of the fact that you have multiple service departments, right? And if those things get mixed together, which happens a lot,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. It will shut down your LSA accounts. So you're going to have to deal with that. You're also going to have to deal with the fact of having the email matching. Even though it's a one-time fix, come on. We're talking about chains of dealerships here, right? Are they really going to be able to pay attention to all this stuff?
Yeah.
No. And on the next one's going to cause more horror, I think, and it's already starting to. And that is the Google Business.
Scream. Do I have a scream? I got a scream.
Do you have a scream? Good. This one is, and it kind of ties all this together actually. And that is every LSA must have a related Google business profile attached. Was not true before. Okay. Now it's a must. But the problem is, just like with anything, when Google launches a new feature, they do it in such a way that even people who are stupid go, damn, that's stupid. So the messaging that they send out in their email is every LSA is going to require a GBP. You have a GBP, make a new one. It's basically that stupid, right? It's like you need to connect a GBP. So just go make a new one. You already have a GBP, right? So look at that and look at the example issue I just put up there. So the example issue is somebody on the community, and they basically have read this email, and instead, and they went ahead, they created a new one, and then they were like, and then support. This is funny, by the way, but this is support. Support told them, yeah, so you have a service area based business, so we think you should add your address to a home, by the way.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, the guy goes ahead and deletes his actual GBP. So now his real one's gone. He's got a new one that's showing an address, potentially. So I just think that LSA just completely screwed this guy's online presence up big time.
Well, I mean, this is another case of one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing. And the LSA people don't know what the guidelines are for Google Business Profiles. So they give stupid advice like that.
Yeah. But this is when this is not launched.
Yeah.
This is going to be, as Max is saying, a mess. Big mess. That's my prediction.
Gives us fun stuff to talk about on the forum, I guess, right?
Hey, you know what? We could just come back here in a month and a half whenever it's actually fully launched and we can go over the LSA apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that there's going to be the sound of the screams of millions of merchants going, my LSA is turned off.
Yep.
Well, yep, it's going to be busy times, that's for sure. All right. So with that, we are done, actually. Let's go take a look, see. What do we got in Q&A? Oh, all right, everybody. We need you. We need you to go in to the questions and answer and go ahead and put in anything that you would like to ask us. If you'd like to have us roast a GBP, especially a competitor's Google business profile. If you'd like to help with dealing with, I don't know, any kind of a Google business profile problem, suspensions, yada, yada, yada. Please go in there. We only have 5 right now in the Q&A section.
We have a couple of questions left over from last time, or
Those came in through the forum. They came in through the forum.
they came in through the forum. Like there's a couple.
Yeah, we were working with like about we're working with about what 9 total, something like
Oh,
that.
Bill, let me see. I'm looking through right now, and I'll see if yours is in there.
Probably.
Let's see.
Oh, it's probably the remote video verification.
Nope, Bill's is about a 1-star attack. Bill's, yours is in there, so we'll get to you. So let's
All right.
start with.
That's actually a good question. I'm moving that in.
Yeah, we'll start with the first one. This one is Mike McClellan, but he's not here today. But Mike, if you're listening to a replay later, Mike's question is about a client's GBP that got disabled because the profile doesn't follow the guidelines. So, yeah, big surprise, right? That never happens nowadays.
It doesn't. This is a unique issue. I've never seen this before.
What exactly is a suspension of a GBP?
What?
I don't even know what that term means.
I didn't know that the Great British Pound could be suspended.
I know, right? So Mike said, my client went in on his own to verify it without having the necessary documents. And of course, the 60 minutes ran out. Now he wants Mike to fix it. Mike has tried several different ways, but keeps ending up at the same place where he submitted the appeal, which now says September 25th, 2024. Business profile disabled. Business profile doesn't exist. Not approved. Mike doesn't know where to go from here. What would you suggest?
So, all right. So I'm going to go grab a link really quickly. Give me a second. Nice. Okay. So let's see. Where is that? Here we go. Oh, got it. All right. Give me a second. We really should have done the waiting music. All right, here we go. All right, so this link, and thankfully Lewis did actually drop that into Q&A before. Anyway, so this link is to get what is called a re-review or a secondary look, basically at your appeal. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands this is it. It's your last shot. Okay. So when you're going to go shoot your shot, make sure you got everything in order. 1000%. I would have somebody who is a professional take a look over your documentation, make sure everything's okay. Especially with this one, by the way, business profile doesn't exist. That's actually that's a bad one. That means that their internal tools can't find it, which usually happens with a new location, by the way. Get some citations done. Get your Chamber of Commerce link if you can. But anyway, or BBB. Yeah. So, but that's it. That's really what you can do. You can submit that form, and they'll get back to you, and you're either approved or you're denied. Beyond that, you might be able to come to the forum, but that's pretty much it.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun. Bow. Oh, good one. Question for you, buddy.
All right.
And this one is coming from Nand. Hello, Nand. Is Nand in the audience today?
Not here today.
Nand is not in the audience today. Okay, so let's see. This one is about fun topic. Claiming a service business.
Awesome.
I've got a client who has a service business that needs to be claimed. He doesn't remember who created it for him. Go figure. I say go figure because I hear that all the time, by the way. Document this stuff. Okay, Google doesn't show own this business or claim this business. That's because it's a service area based business. You can't claim a service area based business. When I go to add as a business, it doesn't show up there in order for me to request ownership. Trust me, it will. The client really needs the listing, all the reviews, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. What you got, buddy?
So it sounds like he says he's going to try to claim it, and it's not. Okay. What you do is go to google.com/business to enter your information in to set up a new profile. If you do that and that business already exists, it will stop and say, hey, this business already exists. Are you trying to claim this business? It sounds like Nand is saying when he goes to put the information in, it's not saying, hey, this business already exists. I'm not sure why it would do that, because if the profile exists, it's for sure there. So I'm wondering if Nand maybe just isn't going far enough through the process to type the information in and submit it to then have Google say, hey, wait, this already exists. Are you trying to claim it?
I have a different way I would do this.
How would you do this?
So I unfortunately have to see these and do these a lot. And they suck every time, by the way. Every single time they suck. And it gets really horrible when the existing owner doesn't know the email address associated.
Yeah.
I'm going through one of those right now. It's been a 6-month battle with support. That's how bad they are.
Oh,
Okay.
see, I have one where the owner knows the email address. They just don't have access to it, and they don't remember what the password is.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it's like a Gmail account, so it's not like a company email where they can go get it recovered and get in.
Yeah.
So they're like, this is the owner account. It's not going to respond because we know that this is the email address associated, but we don't have access. That's a fun one too.
Yeah. So I will say this out there for the cheap seats. Don't do these unless you really, really, really feel like having a bloody stump of a head that's been beating against the wall 60,000 times in one day, just because you had to talk to support to actually get this resolved. So just don't do it. But anyway, and yeah, exactly right. Well, what's going on? What do I do next? That is the questions, Max, always. So basically, really quickly, what you have to do here is, I make it sound so simple. What you have to do is create a new one. Now, you must create a new one in your dashboard, like you were saying, but it must be an exact mirror of what is trying to be claimed, meaning name, address, telephone number. Go on mobile, read the description, find out the service areas. Important piece right there. Service areas are wrong. You're not going to claim. You're creating a duplicate now, but you're creating a bad duplicate, not the duplicate that you want. So you basically need to create a new one, get it verified, and then contact support. Support will then go ahead and boot out the original owner, mark yours as the duplicate. Then you'll need to verify again. Wait 3 days. Then they'll merge them. I believe that's the process. At least that's one that I've done. Yeah, it's horrible, basically. So in other words, what you're doing is you're creating another one and then you're merging. You're getting Google to basically merge them to the new location. Not like any of this could screw up, by the way. There's no way this can be able to go sideways, of course. Right? So, but anyway, that is the process. It's horrible. It sucks. There should actually just be, I want to move business or whatever, but they don't have that.
But that's also why, as a business owner, you should be damn sure that you own all of your properties and have access to everything. And you're not years in going, well, I need to update my business profile and I don't remember who created it or who's got access.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't get away from this. I mean, the one that I'm dealing with right now, it's a retired roofing guy in his 80s, doesn't use computers. Probably like my first computer customer, probably throws the mouse down on the floor and steps on it and wonders why his computer's not coming on.
Yeah.
Doesn't know a thing. He's like, I don't know. I was like, I got all these email addresses. Here's my username and password.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Oh man. All right.
All right,
Shall
next
we?
question comes from Glory, who is not here. But interesting that Glory is not here asking the question that Glory is asking. Glory asks about recordings and says, "Hi, I'm wondering if you have topic-based recordings somewhere. Giant thanks for all you do."
Oh, thank you, Glory. I'm assuming that when you hear the answer to this question, that you have found your answer because we do have recordings and they are on YouTube and iHeartRadio and all these great places to get podcasts. So, yes, we have recordings. Are they topic based? Topic based? Not really. We don't do that.
Actually, I
Although we
guess it would
should.
be kind of hard if she's asking if we have recordings. She clearly doesn't know we have recordings, so maybe she won't even hear the answer to her own question if she doesn't know where the
Oh,
recordings are.
you're going Inception on the answer now.
All right, that could be a little awkward. If anybody knows Glory, make sure Glory knows she can catch it on any of the podcast platforms.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's as good of an answer. Although it would be interesting though to have some of the interesting AI tools go out there, chop up our episodes, and then segment them based on topic into
That could actually be
shorts.
really kind of cool.
That would be neat.
Yeah,
That's your next $1 million idea.
yeah.
I'm just saying. All right. So if anybody wants to develop it, we will talk about it. All right. Well, Lewis has a question for you.
All right, and Lewis is
Mm.
here.
Oh my God, really? All right. Excellent. All right. So, hey, Lewis, you're about to get all of your dreams are about to come true. Well, okay, maybe not all of them, but at least the answer to this question. Multiple businesses sharing an address. We don't hear about this topic very often, by the way. This is a very, very, very rare question for us. All right. And now, if you didn't hear the sarcasm in that, I do apologize. Hi, in the past, we've told our clients that in order to have two companies showing their address at the same location, they need separate suites, phone numbers, websites, signage, and employees. God, it sounds like something I would have written, or maybe you would have done in a video. Okay, anyway. So that suites aren't that important to Google anymore in terms of providing they're a separate business, proving that they are a separate business. The only issue is that a lot of businesses only have one entrance and companies just have separate offices within that building. And that's where I think having a suite would be important. Go.
So that is true. You do have to have permanent signage. You have to have separate employees, separate entrances, technically separate website, phone number, all that sort of stuff. Um, Google doesn't really pay attention to the suite number. The suite number is there for humans to know where to go. But if you're talking, can you let us know in the chat? Are you talking like this is an office building with different suites and offices, or it's like one building, single story with one company that has different sections in there for different businesses? Because if we're talking, it's like a building downtown that's a skyscraper and there's offices on every floor, well, then yeah, you can totally have the same address because they're all going to be the same address in the same building. But if you're talking, you have, okay, smaller home services, yeah, you're not going to get away with that. Like, if you're talking a home address, you have one business at the home address. You're not going to have multiple, like, a plumber and an electrician and an HVAC as separate companies all out of the same address. And if you do, you're not going to be able to get a GBP for each of them. Maybe. It kind of, I mean, you could if you really went through it the right way, but it's going to be difficult right now to make that happen as suspension happy as Google is.
It can be done. Okay. So, Alexis, if you want to add that to the Q&A, you can. But the answer is hell no in a residential area. If you have like the floor of a building, for instance, and you have three offices, And you have signage on those offices. They're individual offices, by the way, which can be locked, right? And on top of that, if you can put signage outside on the window that has all of the logos, okay. And there's a lot of ands here. And you can go ahead and provide a Secretary of State entry for each business entity. And you can do a business license for each one. And you can do a utility bill for each one. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's possible, but like,
Possible.
is that business really going to have 3 separate utility bills and 3 separate signs and all of that?
It can be done.
No.
It can be done.
But is it likely they're going to be set up that way? Probably not.
Oh, God, no. That's like somebody doing it if they know what they're doing, right? And have done it many, many, many times.
Yeah.
What most people do try to do is yes, they try to get a shared desk, or shared office for their 3 business entities, which is actually only one business. Yeah, exactly, right. So you have the signage issue. So that's what's actually that's built to defeat this tactic, is what it is. So the short answer is that sometimes you do need suite numbers as a designation. You can check the post office or Melissa data to see if that's actually something that's enforced by the United States Postal Service. Actually, I saw something weird the other day.
What's that?
Somebody was in a strip mall.
Okay.
And they added a suite number to their address to fix it. Right?
Okay.
The suite number populated on the strip mall 72 hours later as well.
Like for the whole strip mall?
The whole strip mall was now
Wow,
Suite E.
that's odd.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, well, that's interesting. It shouldn't work that way at all. But anyway.
That's odd.
Yeah, I know, right? It is. It's very odd. Okay. All right. So I think we answered that question. I mean, yes, it can be done. Is it easy to do? Nah, not really. All right. Okay.
All right.
Next one.
Next one is Bill's question. Bill, I
Hello,
told you
Bill.
we'd get to you.
Yes, Bill.
Bill's question is about a 1-star attack. And he says, hey guys, a client recently had 6 1-star reviews on the same day. According to the client, this revolved around an incident where a guy had his car towed when he parked in a marked customers only spot on their lot and instead went somewhere off the property. The client got the guy's name from the towing company. He's not one of the reviewers, but 4 of the 6 names are on his friends list on Facebook. Only 2 of the 6 reviews include actual comments, but basically no more than, if I could give 0 stars, I would, and rude customer service. What's the best way to address this? They have 175 reviews. This was enough to lower their rating to 4.6 and drop them from the map pack.
Interesting. Drop them from the map pack. A. Interesting. I always love it how people in a review say, I wish I could give you 0 or less. Or they go, I wish I could give you 10 or more.
Right.
I just love the extremes.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, why doesn't somebody just come in and say, I would rather give you 3 or at least 4 or 2 stars? Like, just like come in the middle somewhere or something like that. All right. So the answer here is the process. The process is step number 1 is going to be report said reviews. Give me a second and I will give you the link.
As he's looking the reviews up, Bill, can you drop into the chat and let us know, was this a situation where the parking lot really has limited parking spaces and they needed to tow this guy? Or were they just going, hey, look, this is marked as customers only, and there's like 5 other open parking spaces, so it wasn't really a big deal, but we're just being a hard ass and towing the guy? I'm just curious to hear.
Right on. So while you're typing that answer out, basically the answer here is that the first place you go is to where the link I just gave you, which is you need to report every single one of these reviews. You may get lucky. All 5 out of the 6 may go away. If it comes back declined, you can appeal that response as well. In the tool, you can appeal the review. Now, whether these things are going to go over like, I don't know, fart in the wind, that's a different story. This is all automated, by the way. If that doesn't work, you have one last opportunity, and that is to come to the forum, make a post, plead your case, report the reviews, link to every single one of those. Give us a link to your Google Business profile. Greg and I or any of the other wonderful product experts can go then and head and just, send that over to the trust and safety team to see what they say. By the way, they really don't care about the story, and for some reason, they will never look at your Facebook page. That's just the reality of it. So they go off different types of signals. But anyway, go ahead and do that. With all those 3 steps accomplished, you may actually get, like I said, I think you'll end up with 1 review is what you're going to get at the end of the day.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
And he doesn't know specifically that day, but it's a lot that's usually full, and it's not just his client. There are other businesses. They parked in front of this business, though. I mean, in general, Bill, I'd let your client know if you're going to be towing people's cars because they're parking in your spot and they're not coming in your store, you're going to get bad reviews. Like that's the ultimate problem isn't how do you get rid of the bad reviews that you got attacked with. The ultimate problem is don't be a dick and tow people's cars. Like, honestly, if you're going to tow people's cars, you're going to get bad reviews. Like, that's
so what you need to do, Greg, is now you need to go find a sound effect for that. Don't be a dick.
Right?
There's got to be a good TikTok sound for that somewhere.
You know what's really funny? When I clicked on that link, it showed in German for me.
Really?
Yeah, the whole thing's in German.
I'm telling you, man. You got some. Were you just in Germany or something? Or did you fly over Germany?
Like a month ago, but I don't know why it would still be showing that here.
I don't know, man.
All right. All
right.
We have a question for you from Paul. And Paul was so eager to get the answer to this question. Not only did he pre-submit the question, he also was the first person to drop it into Q&A today. So this is actually going to be a mid-question transition to having everyone come on down to live questions. Okay, so Paul's question for you is about video verification.
Well, this is historic, though.
Why is it historic?
We have never had a question that transitions from our pre-submitted list to our live list.
I know, right? Like
questions. Never.
Paul should get a free ass hat for that.
Absolutely, Paul. You have just become ass hat for the day.
So Paul's question is, can he have a remote location send him the video to upload for verification, or does he need to be on site shooting the video live?
Whoever's doing the verification needs to be on site doing it live. There is no way to upload a video to Google. Unfortunately, I get asked that all the time. However, what I do is I just said that do. I just said that. Sorry. All right. Anyway, so gotta do it. You need a Beavis Butthead sound for that one, right? Anyway, what you can do is basically, and I deal with this with a lot of franchises and enterprises, have them do a video as if they were doing the verification with Google, have them send it to you, you review it, and then you tell them all the little things that they screw up, because they will screw up. Everybody does.
Yep.
They have their aunt, their brother, their sister, their coworker in the video. They run by the sign and they don't even look at the sign. Little silly things like that. Anyway, that's what I would do, Paul. It'll make your life a lot easier, and you'll be showing more value to whoever you're doing this with.
Boom.
Okay, that's it. All right. With that, now we move on to live Q&A. All right. Let's see what kind of a mixed bag we got here. I don't know. Have you looked through this yet?
I looked through. We've got some good ones.
All right, cool. Well, we're just going to get started with it. Okay. So Jordan Schmale has a question for you.
Okay.
One of my clients has a suspended GBP. Pretty sure the suspension occurred when an unknown user updated the name. Appeal has been denied, so I tried to change the name back. The listing is still suspended. I can't figure out how to resolve it.
Well, let's see what this listing looks like.
Going to be dead. You know that, right?
Maybe.
Oh, no. Okay. Soft
Soft
suspension.
suspension.
Oh,
A
man. I see
plus world
issues.
class heating and cooling with no website. Oh, there's the website. Let's see. The business name is World Class Services, Heating, Cooling, and More.
Mhm.
So yeah, the business name on GBP does not match the business name on the website.
Yeah, it's not
Now,
going to change because it's in a suspended state, so it won't change.
right, but is that what got them suspended?
No. It was well, the action of changing it triggered a integrity check, which I can tell you failed right away.
Yeah. That's a great photo there too.
It is. It's a little tiny car.
It is a really little tiny car.
Yeah.
And why is A plus world class heating and cooling operating out of a residential neighborhood with no permanent signage?
Well, yeah. So I mean, I'm
But they
seeing
have their
this is
address displayed,
classic
so it's
areas.
not set up as a service business; it's set up as a storefront.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's
So
issue one. And also, I'm gonna just for grins and giggles, go check their phone number out.
yeah, I need to like play the Jeopardy song while we're like investigating.
Okay, so phone number is not used on another profile. Only has one review, huh?
And when we go
Yeah, it
down,
doesn't matter what it shows up on your list. What matters is what shows up online. So yeah, so anyway, and any changes that you make when suspended will not be reflected on the internet. That's all. But yeah, so I mean, this is just a classic one, right? I mean, it's number one. There's a user that is on this account which has also been blackballed by Google, so that's why you're seeing it still up there. Um, anyway, this is what's called soft suspension.
also, Jordan, are you work here or this is a client of yours? Client. You might want to talk to your client. They don't have contact us on the main menu of their website. How
Oh
are
Jesus!
customers supposed to contact them with questions? I'd get that fixed. Also, just besides the GBP suspension, I would fix the website.
Yeah, I mean they have the book appointment, but and
Also,
if you go to their about page, that's not where the contact form is supposed to be. But if you go to the about page, that's where it's at.
homepage title tag is heating service, furnace replacement, and furnace repair. Kent, Washington, Federal Way, Washington, Renton, Washington, Des Moines, Washington, Burien, Washington, Covington, Washington, world class services. So,
Wait, what's the name of the business?
I mean, the final thing says world class services, but
I know
yeah,
that.
um, Jordan, you gotta work on some of the optimizations there, buddy. You're not gonna show up. The H1 is heater installation, heating repair, furnace replacement, furnace repair, and furnace service. Kent, Washington, Federal Way, Washington, Renton, Washington, Des Moines, Washington, Burien, Washington, Covington, Washington. Always remember, Google is pattern
Jeez.
detection. You write content for humans, you optimize for Google. And when you optimize a page, it's one keyword phrase, one location. You're not going to show up in 6 cities because you put 6 cities in your title tag and your H1 heading.
Yeah,
So I would for sure
got it.
work on the organic optimization of the site as well, besides all of the other stuff.
Yep. So anyway, fix the name, fix the address,
Yep.
appeal.
All right. Next question for you is from Dre Dre.
What's
And
up, Dre
Dre's
Dre?
question, I have a new client who had a GBP suspended due to someone fudging details in Canada. It was
How do
appealed.
you fudge a detail in Canada? Hold on.
It was appealed
Fudge?
and not approved.
Okay,
He
all right.
deleted the old GBP and created a new one. It has
Uh,
been sitting unverified for 11 days.
uh,
There are no video verify links to push the verification through. The business is legit. It has a storefront and an address. What suggestions do you have for us to get verified?
what do you mean there's no video verifies the links? If it's brand new, you've got to get it video verified. You don't have a choice. What do you see when you click get verified? Dre Dre. Okay. So it had code for getting verified. Great. Fantastic. Did you get the code and put the code in? I'm assuming no, but that's what you need to do. If the owner is getting a
Okay, the owner
code,
was called with a code, and
yeah.
yes.
So go ahead and that should verify the account.
Dre, are you saying that you entered the code 11 days ago and it is still not verified?
I think that might be what he's talking about.
No, what
What
was
second lag and like wait, what are you talking
okay,
about?
timeline. Am I correct in saying that after deleting the old one and creating the new one, you then had the code that was given to the owner that you then entered for verification, and that was done, and now it's 11 days later and it's still not verified yet? Is that correct?
We cannot debug this. No, we can't debug this. Unfortunately, we're not getting the information we need, so we can't debug it. I mean, it's yeah, you need to
Okay,
know.
so yeah, the code that they entered the verification code and now it's 11 days later and it's still not verified. So they're asking, is there anything to do to get the verification to happen? Because they've already done what they needed to do and it's stuck in pending verification for 11 days.
It's going to say inside the profile how many days are left. So it's going to say either 7 days, 5 days, or 30. It's probably under manual review, so it's probably 30. There's a message right inside of your Google Business profile that says this. You won't see it on the outside. You have to be in the profile. You got to click on edit info and it'll tell you pending verification X amount of days. Okay, it said 10 days. Okay, fine. Give it another 5. They're not exact.
Cool.
If that doesn't work, you can always contact Google. However, in this case, you really want contacting Google to be your last resort because things can go sideways when you contact Google sometimes. All right.
What just happened?
Excellent. So, next question. I have a business. This is from John Moffat. I have a business that does SEO and builds websites. I'm going to split it into 2 entities. I have a different name and phone number for the new business. Can I? Oh, Jesus.
John,
Can I
why?
get a GBP at the same address?
Why, John? Why would you want to split it into 2 entities?
Can we get a sound effect for that? Like a why? Oh my God, why? Or maybe like something from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I know, right?
What's to say? Gene Wilder. All right.
John, okay. You're not ranking for either. Splitting it into 2 entities doesn't help you with ranking. So if you're not ranking for either, then just do more SEO, have better content, have better links, do all the things that you should do to get to rank. You do SEO, you know the things you should be doing. Just do more of that for your own site. And there you go. Splitting it into 2 isn't going to solve the problem. It's just going to double your work and make it even more likely that it's longer until you get stuff handled. So I would not split just because you're not ranking. Also, in general, typically SEO people don't get business because they rank for doing SEO. So maybe don't worry so much about that.
And the other issue is by doing that, you will risk a 90% chance of having both profiles completely suspended and you won't get back.
Yep.
Yeah. The reason why we shake our head at this, by the way, in the beginning is everybody is like, I should do this. I should do this. No, you shouldn't do this. This is the worst thing that you could ever do, actually.
And you're splitting it because you want to try to rank better. You're not splitting it because it's really 2 separate businesses. It's really one business. It's
one
you.
business. Yep.
You're not allowed to have 2 separate GBPs for it. So.
Sorry, no double dipping allowed.
All right. So
Okay.
next question is for you, also from John. John's question, he has a client whose GBP posts have been consistently removed. Meanwhile, their competitors are putting up essentially the same info and getting away with it. Can the client be suspended as a poster? I posted one on their behalf and it's still live on their GBP.
Give me 1 second. No. But I mean, really, basically, that's it. That's the only way you can answer that question. There's no explanation actually even behind it. It's just no. You can't get suspended for posting on yours GPP, really, unless
I
you.
think maybe he's more asking, John, are you more asking, can that user have a block against doing posts? Is that what you're asking?
No,
Yeah.
it can't. It's either you can post or not for the profile. It does not have to do
That
anything with the
doesn't
user.
make sense.
Yeah. So no,
Yep.
absolutely not. Okay. We skipped one question here, buddy.
Did we?
This one's from Lewis. Lewis has been patiently waiting to have this answered all week, all month.
Oh, this was this. I thought this was part of the same question of what we answered earlier.
I mean, I think it's maybe, I don't know.
Oh, we can hit it. That's fine.
Eh, it's a little bit different. Not too
Okay.
much, bro. It's pretty much the same answer though. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Lewis, do you feel like you had your question answered about the two businesses location? 5,
Maybe.
4, 3,
Last chance if you want to.
2. Whoops.
Yeah, but you asked the one about what has to be separate for multiple businesses. Do you feel like we answered that with the last question, or do you want us to hit that one as well? We could dive in deeper. Let's do it. Lightning round. Let's see if we can get through a couple. Oh, wow. We got a bunch in here now.
No, we ain't getting through this in 3 minutes, buddy.
We're not getting through it. All right, let's do this one then. Is it my turn?
Yeah,
Is it your turn?
sure.
Who's reading?
Yeah.
Who's
Why
answering?
don't you do it? Why don't you go? I answered last time. Does anyone? Well, actually, we both answered. But anyway, does anyone know specifically what has to be separate for multiple businesses to be at the same location? Right? Two businesses, two hybrids, commercial, basically. And then she's just asking a whole bunch of stuff as far as like different types of for the commercial versus SABs, whatever. Go for it.
Uh, Separate signage, separate entrance, separate employees. That's pretty much it. It has to be a real separate business entity. Does it really have to be separate phone numbers? Doesn't have to be, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to do it. Like, it's really easy to just get tracking numbers that all ring to the same place if you're that worried about it. But separate vehicles don't matter for a storefront. Separate vehicles would matter for an SAB because if you're using the vehicle wrap as part of your documentation for why you're allowed to have a separate business, you have a vehicle wrap with a logo on it. You're not going to be able to use the same vehicle for two different business names. So that's not really going to work. And it still matters on the address for an SAB. Even though the address isn't displayed, Google still knows that you're at that address. So again, all the stuff that we talked about a few minutes ago of you have to satisfy these criteria to be eligible for a business profile still hold true.
I love how disinformation spreads, by the way. It's really interesting to watch. I know exactly where there's like 2 or 3 sources that I could say this list kind of came from, basically. And you're right, the vehicles doesn't count. It doesn't matter. But I know exactly where it is, where it came from. So it's kind of interesting because it's actually wrong. But everything else is correct. So, I mean, it doesn't actually matter, by the way, the whole thing about the vehicles. Okay, let's see.
Want to squeeze in one more?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do one more. Okay, we did John's question. Okay, Neil's question for you. GBPs for security and fire alarm companies often list security system installer as the primary category and fire alarm as the secondary. However, when shoppers search for fire alarm, security system installer is listed as the sole category in search results. Is that to be expected or is there a workaround?
It should change based on the category. The actual category should show up properly as fire alarm. I'm just going to do something really quick.
Does it not always just show you the primary category on the GBP?
Well, yeah, but it should also change based on intent. So it
I
might
don't
just
think it
not change
does.
based on, it might not change based
I
on
think
their
I
category.
think it shows the primary category regardless of whether it matches the search query or not. Ben's
Oh,
testing.
wait a minute. No. The search is fire alarm security system installer. So if you're searching for that, you're searching for two different categories. Of course, fire alarm security system is going to come up more because that's probably searched for
No, he's
more.
saying if you search for a fire alarm installer on the GBP, the primary category that's displayed is security system installer
No, no,
because
no.
that's what they have
I'm
their primary category set to.
I'm getting like, yeah, I'm getting like fire protection service, security system supplier.
Right, but
So,
whatever primary category is displayed on your profile doesn't change. It only
yeah,
shows
no,
your primary category.
Neil is
It
saying
doesn't
it's showing
change it
now.
based on the searches.
Oh no, it does change it based on the searches, but Neil's saying he figured it out. It's working now. So
Gotcha. All right.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Well,
Cool.
then
All right.
with that, we're done.
Yes, we are.
So Luann, Mark, you're always here, so not you. Luann, Luis, Rhea, Alexis, Neil, and Luis again. Make sure you show up in 2 weeks because we're going to start with the questions that y'all submitted today and answer those first, and then we'll switch to live again. And don't forget to show up in 2 weeks to hear those questions, answers, and other live questions answered, and potentially more GBP roasts, and potentially
Maybe.
more people we might be able to make fun of because they still say GMB.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's always fun. All right, everybody. With that, that is another episode of the Local Marketing Institute webinar on the books. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a fantastic and amazing weekend.
And
Have a
enjoy
wonderful
Halloween next
2
week.
weeks. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And if we don't see pictures of Greg on the Facebook group in what he is going to be dressed as, this is just going to be a total shame.
I'm not dressing up.
Come on, you're not dressing up?
No,
I
I
thought you
don't
were going to
dress
at
up.
least.
We have like the yard with all the animatronics and blow ups and stuff, and we give away full
Okay.
size candy bars. So everybody comes to our house. So I
Yeah.
sit out front and hand out candy, and I've got a remote, and I scare kids with animatronics.
Okay. All right. I'm good. I thought you were going to at least dress up as Terrifier.
I
Just
did just
saying.
get that tattooed.
I know you did. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good, safe holiday, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
See you, everybody.